everyone, it's Sharana from Pay Your Weights, and today I'm going to be reviewing Reminiscence, which is currently playing in theaters and on HBO Max. This film is written and directed by Lisa Joy. It stars Hugh Jackman, Tannaway Newton, Rebecca Ferguson, as this film centers around Nick Bannister's character, Hugh Jackman, who basically falls in love with this woman. He is a PI. His world is turned upside down when the woman he loves suddenly disappears, and it just leads him down a destructive journey on trying to figure out what happened to her. So for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, hello, so glad you came, I hope you stay. I'll tell you what I liked about the film, what I didn't like about the film, and is it worth your time or not watching Reminiscence on HBO Max or to see it in theaters, because that's your business, how you watch your movies. So, going into what I did enjoy about this film, I do have to say the world that Lisa Joy built with this new world that is basically covered or submerged underwater, as there's only a few places where people can actually go where their tides have not taken over, you know, people's homes, their businesses, and delving into the disparities between the rich and the poor who was able to survive the tides that came and swept some of these cities away. I like how it looks. I was very interested to learn more about this world. Also, too, I love the noir vibe that it has going into it. As we get Hugh Jackman, who is doing the narration over the course of the film, I was like, I'm loving this little noir vibe that they're giving. Got him in his little, he's supposed to look depressed and gloomy, but I was just like, I like this vibe that they're giving me so far. But I will have to say, what kept me watching for the majority of the film, anyway, that Tannaway Newton is on screen, I really liked her character in this film. She plays this badass woman who has her own demons that she's dealing with, but also too, she was a prominent figure within the wars that were happening, breaking out, where her character and Hugh Jackman's character, where they've known each other from. She's a badass, and she literally said everything that we were thinking this entire movie. You know how you watching something and there's a character in the film that is literally saying what you were thinking? When she's telling Nick all of this over a girl? We suffering through this 3-hour, 4-hour, 5-hour movie because you're trying to figure out what happened to this girl who probably wasn't ish to begin with? Nick, that's what we doing? I really love, there's just like one-liners that she had that I was just like, thank you so much for saying this, because that's what I've been saying. That's what I wanted to yell at the screen, even though I was in a packed theater. That's what I wanted to yell at the screen the entire time. And then she also has a really cool sequence that helps you realize why she made a name for herself in the war. I think they call her Watts. But I really loved her character. Probably like whenever she was on screen, I was like, okay, I'm finna have a good time. I'm really trying to take the moment to just think of anything else that I liked about this film. You guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was not a fan of this film. Let me just get into the cons. I was not a fan of this film. I can say the last pro of this movie was when the movie ended and I knew that I was released from the bondage of watching this film. Now, I think where we went wrong in Reminiscence, like I said, Lisa did a really great job of introducing this new world, right? As we get to hear through exposition of the dialogue between our characters as they're talking about, you know, what the wars look like, how we ended up to the city that we're introduced to now. I actually wanted to see a movie on that. I wanted to learn about the wars. I wanted to see how Tannaway's character was called Watts. I wanted to just understand like how we got to the corruption and the disparities of social class that we see in this film. I wanted to see how this world actually came to be. And instead, this is really it's a mystery of trying to figure out what has happened to May. But it's really like a love story engulfed amongst all of that. And for me, I was not expecting a love story. Now, I don't watch movie trailers, so this could have been in the trailer. But for me, I thought I was going to be led into this sci-fi journey where this is just a portion of what is happening throughout the course of the film as Nick is trying to figure out, you know, what has happened to May, who was she involved with, how dangerous this journey gets for all of our characters. And while I love the technology that they use as he's a PI and how they travel through people's mind to really uncover this mystery, to really figure out what has happened, honestly, I was just left like, this is just not what I expected. And I felt bored. And to be honest, with the 2-hour runtime, this movie literally feels like it's 3 to 4 hours. I was constantly checking my watch while watching the film because honestly, as we're going into the flashbacks of getting to see how Nick and May met, and who May truly is, delving deeper into her past, I just wasn't invested in her character. And that's no slight to Rebecca Ferguson, which I think she's fine with what's given to her. She does not have that much to do. I think it really just delves deeper into the writing of this film. You know, most of these characters, while surface level they may look interesting, and the mystery behind it keeps you enthralled for the first maybe 45 minutes of the film, it starts to just lose its way as we're taken between a romantic story thrusted into this dark mystery that just really can't hold the audience's attention. Honestly, while I was watching my film, there were people walking out of the movie. The pacing of the film, it just feels very long. And to be honest, I just felt like so much could be cut from the story, because once we actually started getting deeper into the mystery of what happened to May, I was interested. I was invested. I was like, okay, we're starting to get somewhere. It took a whole hour and 30 minutes to do that, but now you have me invested again. And so honestly, for me, Reminiscence, it was a mess for me. It kind of reminded me of some of the slow-paced episodes of Westworld, where you think a lot is happening, but really is leading up to nothing. That's how I felt walking out of Reminiscence. You know, I think that it was a very great interesting premise behind the film. I like the idea of the world that Lisa Joy built of where she was trying to go, but the execution of how we got into this mystery of making us want to like continue on this journey with our characters, it just didn't hit it for me. Hugh Jackman couldn't save it, and he did his damn best. He was probably one of the reasons why I kept watching, also too with Tandaway Newton, but ultimately for me, it was just a miss. There is also something that Tandaway's character does in the film that kind of made me feel like, is this where we save all the white people? It just hit me wrong a little bit type of way. It could be I was already hating the movie at that point, and it might be a nitpick, but it just didn't sit right in my spirit. But yeah, Reminiscence, what I would tell you guys to do with you and your coins, I would tell you to wait to see this movie in theaters. To be honest, if you were going to watch the movie, I would tell you to go watch it in theaters, because you will probably have there would be a greater probability of you actually watching the movie from beginning to end. For me, if I turn this on HBO Max, I know that I will stop 30 minutes in. I will never come back and revisit it. There's no way that I would just subject myself to watching this 2 hour that feels like a 4 to 5 hour movie. So yeah, it wasn't it for me, y'all. I'm sorry. It had a great cast. I believe in Lisa Joy. I still love watching Westworld, but this was just a miss all around for me. So those are my thoughts on Reminiscence. As always, my name is Sharona from Payroll Waits, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again, bye.